I had to do it. You guys would not leave me alone until I did it. Yes, that's right. I'm making a guide on... Why am I doing this? BBQ Rumble, okay? You got me. I'm doing a legit guide on BBQ Rumble where I take your hand and I hold it through the early, mid, and late game stages. Now, I am gonna warn you, this is a for fun build, but damn is it fun. So hop on a Smurf and let's get started. By the way, quickly, my name is JinxedJK and I'm currently uploading daily videos. This includes comprehensive guides and gameplay footage. So make sure to subscribe, like for the algorithm, and don't you dare forget to hit that bell notification so you know exactly when my next video goes live. All right, enough chit chat. Let's take a look at the guide. All right, first things first, let's talk about the build so you have a better understanding of it. The idea is simple. We're gonna have Rumble be our main carry. We're using Infinity Edge and Jeweled Gauntlet to get massive stacks on that Titan's Resolve, right? We're gonna be able to get those stacks really quickly with those crits coming in. And then we help our Rumble stay healthy with the 4 Celestial buff. So this is basically the build. 4 Celestial, Rumble is our primary carry. Because we have the Ashe, it's very easy to add in a sniper along with it, and then Ziggs is there for the demo buff. Now I quickly want to touch on the items. What's better? Is it the Infinity Edge Jeweled Gauntlet or the double Jeweled Gauntlet version with the Titan's Resolve? That depends on the build. So the way it works and there's been a Reddit guide for this on the competitive TFT subreddit. But basically, if you're playing solo Rumble, you want to have the double Jeweled Gauntlet because you're getting more crit instances. We don't know exactly why that is happening right now, as technically Infinity Edge Jeweled Gauntlet is 0.01% better. They're basically the same thing. But because of the fact that you are getting more crit instances, means you're stacking the Titan's Resolve much faster. So if it's solo Rumble carry with 4 Celestial, you want double Jeweled Gauntlet with Titan's Resolve. Don't worry about it if you can't, just use the Infinity Edge instead. But for the mech variation, which I'll show you that later on, that one it is preferred if you do have Infinity Edge Jeweled Gauntlet Titan's Resolve. So this is what the level 7 build looks like right here. Okay, and at level 8, basically you're trying to get Mystics in because we don't want to play the Xayah. This is a dead unit. So the simple addition at level 8 is adding in the Karma and starting to look for that Lulu to round off your build with 2 Mystics. With that being said, the item priority on that very first carousel is glove or belt. Why belt, Jinx? There's no belt that we're using on the Rumble. Because protectors with Warmogs right now will be your easiest early mid game that you can have. So let's look at some of the early game variations, okay? Basically it's Ziggs with anything that you can add to it, any frontline units, right? You have Brawlers, add the Brawlers with a Ziggs in. You have Rebels, use the Rebels. You have Vanguards, use Vanguards with a Zig. You have Protectors, great. And this is what I'm talking about, Protectors with an early Warmogs. Now the Warmogs, you do want to put on the Xin Zhao as he will be in our final variation. So he's going to be holding on to that item. Alright, going into the mid game, you want to play strong synergies. So as you're coming along the Ashe, right, you want to add in Sniper with that. And who's great for that? Caitlyn. Well, pairs well with Caitlyn, always a Chrono synergy. Blitzcrank is fine, Twisted Fate is fine. Blitzcrank adds in a little bit more frontline, so this way you have a nice balance between 3 frontline units, Xin Zhao, Rakan, and Blitzcrank, and 3 backline units, Ashe, Caitlyn, and Ziggs. You can definitely look to build a Spear of Shojin on that Ashe to really help you in that mid game, so you can push for level 7. And at level 7, you are looking to go for this variation finally. You're finding the Rumble, you can finally put in the 4 Celestials, and you can really get those stacks on the Titan's Resolve going. Now, before we take a look at the mech variation, I want to quickly touch on 3-starring the Rumble. It is ideal that you do get a 3-star Rumble, but when are we going to be rolling for it? At level 7 or at level 8? The ideal rolling scenario is at level 8 because your odds of rolling 3 costs are the same, 35% at level 7, 35% at level 8. But the reason why we want to roll for Rumble 3 at level 8 is because it increases your odds of hitting that Lulu and getting that Mystic in. So level 9 is not really needed. You can stay at level 8 forever until you hit the Rumble 3. And in this variation at level 9, you're just adding any 5 cost unit. The first 5 cost unit that you upgrade, go ahead and throw that in. Aurelian Soul, Echo, Janna, Urgot, any one of those good 5 cost units for the level 9 slot. Now in terms of rolling intervals and leveling patterns, there's nothing special here. It remains the same of just playing the strongest board, level to push advantages, roll if you're weak. Ideally, you do want to wait until level 7 to start rolling because that's when you're hitting that 35% odds of hitting 3 cost units, right? You're maxing it out at level 7. So if you can, wait until level 7. Get your level 7 build going that we talked about here to stabilize and then look to push level 8. Now, if we take a look at the mech variation, what's happening with the mech variation is we're basically dropping 2 Celestial to fit in the 2 extra slots so we can get our mech, right? The Annie and the Fizz. And because of that, we're filling it in with the mech synergies, right? We want to get an Infiltrator for the mech and Sorcerer. Now this doesn't have to be Sorcerer, right? It can be Karma, because at level 9 we do want to go into Mystic, but you're just trying to fill in those synergies. Keep the 2 Celestial, as it will help the Rumble get back to full health as it pops out of the mech. And then at level 9, this variation has a really high power spike potential, as at level 9 we can start adding in a lot of 5 cost units while maintaining those synergies, right? And for the Ziggs, in both variations, the Ziggs will always come out for a GP as soon as you find it. The reasoning is that even though GP isn't that likely to get his ult off, if he does get his ult off, it's 10 times better than the Ziggs. That's the reasoning for that. And then over here, it does, again, it depends on the lobby if you need Mystics or not, right? This can easily be Victor or Xerath for that Sorcerer synergy. It just depends if you need Mystics for the lobby. This is the level 9 variation for the mech. Now I quickly want to show you some good early game item holders for this build and how you can easily transfer them onto the main units later on. So Twisted Fate, Ziggs, they can both hold on to Spear of Shojin and Jeweled Gauntlet. Our Jarvan in the early game can hold on to the Warmogs, which we can later transfer onto the Xin Zhao. Moving on to the 2 costs, Zed is a great holder of that Infinity Edge until we find the Rumble so we can get the combo of the Infinity Edge, Jeweled Gauntlet, Titan's Resolve. And as well as the Titan's Resolve can be held onto the Zed, as he will be getting more crits if you do have that Infinity Edge on him, and him being an Infiltrator, really great over here. And then of course, if you come across an early Rumble, an early Ashe, we'll go ahead and make that transfer as soon as you can with the Titan's Resolve on the Rumble right away and the Spear of Shojin onto the Ashe. Alright, that brings us to the end of the guide. Nice, quick, to the point. Now again, I would not recommend this for ranked. It does have potential to do really well in ranked, but a lot of things need to line up, right? The stars need to align, with Rumble 3 being your win condition. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.